Hello. So I worked with Katie, who is 5 years and 10 months old. She's just finishing her first year of school. She comes from a very stable home life with supportive parents and two older brothers who really help her excel socially and academically, which is awesome. We had 3 sessions, 2 of which were focused on Clay's observation tasks and one that was a reading, writing, connected lesson. She came to every session focused, hardworking, excited to learn. We did have some routines in place that helped her to keep that focus. We had a snack before each session started, and then we did have brain breaks every 15 minutes, which was some type of physical activity of her choosing, just to kind of calm her mind and get some of her energy out. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Clay's observation tasks. You can see her summary sheet for her tasks right next to me. And her Stay 9 scores, according to the New Zealand Stay 9, put her above average in every section for her age group, which is really wonderful. She's excelling developmentally and academically. The first part of development that I wanted to address was language. Her language skills are very strong for her age. She has wonderful phonological awareness. One thing to keep an eye on is her R phoneme. Sounds a little bit like an L phoneme when it's the initial consonant in a word. So just something to keep an eye on as she moves forward. It does make it a little hard to understand her at times. Her expressive language is phenomenal. She's able to maintain a conversation on a single topic using complete sentences consistently, and she is knowledgeable about what she's talking about, excited about what she's talking about. She's able to avoid conversational breakdowns on her end, which is great for communicative competence. She knows when she's not being understood, whether it's a question that she's asking or a topic that she's talking about, and she's able to rephrase herself to be understood. Her receptive language is almost as strong. She learns new vocabulary through conversation very, very quickly. She understands what we're talking about. One thing with her receptive language that we are going to work on is the need for her to start advocating when she doesn't understand something, and letting the person know that they need to say it in a different way or explain themselves. One thing that I needed to explain during our time was the phrase comic strip and what that meant and what it looked like. We will also be using a lot of read alouds to continue to increase her conversation skills through purposeful talk with her peers. So next I'd like to talk about her reading development. She's at stage 2 of Chell's model right now, which is reading to, or learning to read. It is some disfluent, choppy sounding reading, but she's really building that sight word vocabulary and building her knowledge of words so that she can read using her reading strategies that she's learning as well. I wanted to point out her concepts about print. They are very strong. She knows how to read a book. She knows the difference between words and letters. She knows when things don't look right or sound right on a page. One thing that she did, whether it was me reading or her reading, was finger point to each word so that she could follow along with what I was doing, which is a great habit to be in and something that I never needed to remind her to do, which was amazing. Her comprehension, so one thing that I did want to point out is that when we did the running record through the observation tasks, it was hard for her, and she relied heavily on visuals to try to correct those errors or try to say a word that maybe was close to what it needed to be. But even when that was hard, her comprehension was still really strong. She understood what she was talking about. And when I did a separate running record with her, with the benchmarking system that her school uses, she was above grade level, which is awesome. So obviously there's a bit of a discrepancy there, and I'm wondering if maybe it was that there were pictures in that other text, which is a reading strategy that she relies strongly on right now. We are going to focus next on teaching her more reading strategies to help her decode those words, so she's not just focusing on that visual information. She has some other things to go off of too, like meaning. Does it make sense with what she's reading? And we will also be working on fluency. Right now she's very word by word. We'd like to see some smoothness, some intonation in there. and reading in larger, meaningful chunks. So the next thing I want to talk about is her writing. She is in the middle letter name alphabetic stage of her writing. We're just going to take a look at the hearing and recording sounds in words observation task. She's in the middle letter name alphabetic stage, which basically means that she has a good handle on her initial consonants and her ending consonants. She has an understanding that vowels are in each word. She knows that she needs to use that, and she's focusing on phonetic spelling instead of inventive spelling now. You can see that in boat, she heard the B, the T, and the long O. She missed the A because she's not quite there yet. She doesn't have those vowel blends, those vowel digraphs yet to go off of. But in every word, she's making a really good effort to spell it correctly and sound it out. Her handwriting is beautiful. She uses a mix of upper and lowercase letters, which is typical for her age, but her handwriting is straight, her spacing is wonderful, and she really is doing a great job. She loves writing, and she expressed that multiple times. So next step for that would be to focus on short vowels and really get her solid with hearing those sounds in words so that she can write them down. And then digraphs. She has some of her digraphs down already, especially the TH. So just progressing with that. But overall, it was a joy to work with Katie, and she really is doing phenomenally developmentally in every area.